Here's something most of us never really stop to think about. You know that person, or maybe this is you, the one who loves you completely, with everything they have. But something is always slightly off. They text back fast, almost too fast. They notice when your tone changes, when your replies get shorter, when you go quiet for just a little too long. One missed call and something shifts in them. Not anger, something closer to panic. You never gave them a reason to fear losing you, but they still do. But they are always waiting for it, always preparing for the moment everything falls apart. Like somewhere deep inside them, they already know how this ends, and it breaks them before it even happens. So what is actually going on inside the mind of someone whose past abuse created a fear of being left? Because the answer might completely change the way you think about love and trust itself. Let's start with what most people get wrong. They assume the fear of abandonment is neediness, that it is insecurity someone should simply get over. But psychology tells a very different story. When someone has been abandoned, betrayed, or abused in the past, their brain does not just move on. It rewires itself to make sure it never gets caught off guard again. Here are 3 things consistently happening inside the mind of someone whose past abuse created a fear of being left. The first is hypervigilance in relationships. Research by psychologist Bessel van der Kolk found that trauma rewires the brain's threat detection system. For someone with a history of abuse or abandonment, the nervous system never fully stops scanning for signs the love is about to disappear. A change in tone, a shorter text, a moment of distance. What feels like nothing to you feels like a warning signal to them. Their brain learned that love comes with an expiry date, so it never fully relaxes. The second is anxious attachment. Psychologist John Bowlby's attachment theory found that early experiences of inconsistent love or abandonment create a pattern where the brain becomes addicted to seeking reassurance. They do not want to need constant validation, but the absence of it feels unbearable. Because somewhere in their past, love was unpredictable, and their brain never forgot. The third is self-abandonment. Research in trauma psychology shows that people who grew up being left or mistreated often learn to abandon themselves first. They shrink, they overgive, they make themselves easy to keep. Because somewhere along the way, they were taught that who they naturally are was not enough to make someone stay. And maybe that is the most thought-provoking insight of all. The fear of being left is not weakness. It is a survival response built from real pain. The person holding on too tight is not broken. They are someone who loved deeply once and got hurt deeply for it. And their heart is still trying to make sense of that. If this resonated with you, subscribe and leave a like. It helps this reach the people who need it most. Drop a comment below. Have you ever loved someone who feared being left, or have you felt this fear yourself? I read every single one. See you in the next one.